You're listening to 88.7 WLUW Chicago Sound Alliance, broadcasting from the campus of Loyola University. Next up is the Live from the Heartland show, featuring hosts Michael James, Katy Hogan, and Thom Clark. Today we'll be having conversations with Jen Walling from the Illinois Environmental Council, and George Freeman, Joanie Pallatto, and Sparrow from Chicago's own Southport Records, and they will be discussing George Freeman's new CD, George the Bomb. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show.
You're listening to George the Bomb, and we got George the Bomb Freeman here with us, along with Joanie Pallatto and Sparrow.
Yay.
Good morning,
Michael
Katy.
Katy.
This is a great blues crew in here.
Yeah.
Indeed. Not our first time to have you. I'm so glad that you were able to come out today. And also Sparrow and Joanie, Southport Records.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, we've been together a long time.
So tell us about this new album collaboration with Billy Branch.
It was really amazing, really. We worked a gig at the what's the gig we worked?
Oh, at the City Winery last April.
Last
It was our
April.
first gig with
That
this
was right
group.
after you were on the show.
That's
Yes,
right.
it was,
I remember.
Michael. Yeah.
Come on now.
See how we remember things, you know?
I don't remember
Indeed.
nothing. I remember.
But we put Billy. We thought Billy and George. This will be a new concept, right?
Well, it worked.
It kind of did, didn't it? Yeah.
Well, it works because you collaborate so well, Mr. Freeman.
You know what sold me about the whole thing was what sold me was the accordion player.
Oh, John Devlin on accordion, which makes it a very unique sound because I think George played so many records over the years with the
Everybody else.
organ,
With a Hammond organ.
with the Hammond organ.
Right.
That now with the accordion, which
Brings
you
in
know,
that rich fullness.
that fullness. Yeah.
Sweet.
He was just outstanding accordion player. He's outstanding. Because on my birthday, on the record release,
Yeah,
Okay.
birthday
You
getting
could
in
call him the same.
that too.
Sure.
Yeah.
It all blends together.
it does.
It's one big party.
But this one time, it's going to be George the Bomb. I'm going to be signing records,
Oh, next
Actual
Friday.
LPs?
LP records.
No, he's
No,
gonna
you're
be,
just using that old school thing, right? You're
Yeah.
going to be signing CDs.
Yeah.
Jewel cases,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
We
That's
still
all right.
call them records because they're recordings.
There you go.
Right?
Real quickly, though,
Thank
is,
you.
is Southport Records ever going to put out any actual records? Because a lot of the younger kids are going back to the records.
We've got plenty
That's
in
what
the
I
basement.
heard.
Sparrow, tell them about that.
Yeah, we still got records from the 70s.
Yeah, baby. I was going to say.
We need a re-release party.
My gosh. Who are the other musicians on that album with you? Do you know?
Oh,
Besides Billy Branch?
Oh, and George the Bomb. Well, John Devlin is on bass, electric bass, and accordion. Louise Everling is on drums and percussion.
Sweet.
Louise, the Brazilian drummer that throws it down for George. He can play anything.
So
great.
cool.
Yeah,
Great.
and Sparrow
Ah.
plays piano on Tonto.
Ta-da.
yeah. Tonto.
And I sing on a couple of songs.
She
So
sure
Of course.
did.
you know, though,
The crew.
I think George, we would all agree that from the City Winery gig through the album, all of us hooked up and shared this experience. And I hate to sound schmaltzy about it, but it's true.
Well, come on. We do schmaltz all the
You
time.
know, Billy Branch, Billy has been so. It's like he's George's son. He
Sweet.
treats George that way, you know.
He and his wife.
He and his wife Rosa. That's right.
His wife is the one that fixed cornbread.
Oh, really? Really?
Tell
Yeah.
the story, George.
Yeah, tell the story, George.
Okay, what happened was Billy called me a couple of years ago. And he says, "How you doing, George?" I said, "I'm doing just fine, so and so." He talking on the microphone. He said, "Hey, where's the cornbread?" It wiped me out.
And
George told me about that, and I said that already right there is a song in itself.
Yeah,
Where's the
just-
cornbread? And then they did it the first time at the winery.
Yeah.
That's what we say since the Heartland closed.
Yeah.
Or since we sold it. Where's the real cornbread?
Where's the real cornbread? I wouldn't tell his wife that. Though. That's how that happened.
So, go ahead, Kate.
there's an event I want to mention before we play another song in the middle of this, and that's the event at Lang's Lounge coming up this week, April 26th.
Uh-huh.
Tell us about it. one of you.
Well, it's from 6 to 9 p.m. at Lang's at 3500 North Southport. It's free. It's our neighborhood bar.
Yay.
And we did after the Jazz Fest there last year with a band.
Yeah.
But this time it's going to be a listening party. So we're going to be playing the CD all night. John Devlin is going to do little mini sets on guitar and vocal.
Sweet.
I'll sit in. And
I wish you could see what she just did.
yeah.
She does this coy thing.
I'll sit in.
I'll sit in. I
And
love
then
it.
George is going to sit at the bar and sign CDs, and it's a listening party.
I hope it's a comfortable chair, George.
You know one thing, I got to say this here.
Yeah.
They're going to have a drink called cornbread.
They're gonna or they oughta.
No,
No,
we're
they're
gonna
really
have,
going
we're
to.
gonna have drink specials.
Called cornbread.
Well, George, the bomb specials, maybe.
I like George the Bomb. I don't think I would drink a cornbread.
Cornbread.
Jeez.
Corn liquor.
Come on.
Corn
Corn
liquor.
liquor.
There you go, Michael.
So let's listen a little bit to I think it's called Guitar Love Man. Is that right?
Where's the cornbread?
Where's the cornbread? Goofy me.
I smell some cornbread.
Hey, George,
Yeah.
where's the cornbread?
Oh,
Where's that cornbread? Okay, you're listening to Live from the Heartland here with George Freeman, George the Bomb. We're also with Joanie Pallatto and Sparrow of Southport Records. And, you play with some big players. Your brother, Von Freeman, Charlie Parker.
Yeah.
A lot of other people. What was it like to be around Charlie Parker?
great.
Tell us about him. Tell people who he is, who he was.
You know, that's a good way to put it, who he was and who he is, because he still definitely is the last word right now to this very day. Phrasing and all the good stuff that musicians want to do come from Charlie Parker, and it comes from the bebop era. And I grew up in that era. So when I was coming up, I always wanted to play with Charlie Parker. And this is the truth. So I went to church that Sunday with my mother. She took me to church.
Would you have gone without your mother, or you had
No,
to go?
no.
with
Hey,
your parents?
let's not go
Go
down
ahead,
a
go ahead,
sidetrack,
keep
Michael.
That brings back my own
We've
experience.
got to take a minute while George laughs at Michael's version of a joke. You know,
No, that was the
Kidding.
truth, though. I wouldn't have gone without her.
That's how I went to church.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You told her I wouldn't have gone without my mother.
all right.
She brought me out of the house, so we went to church that morning, and the fellow that's over all of those soul churches happened to be there, and he said, "Anything you want, you ask for it and you'll get." And guess what I did?
What?
I said, "I want to play with Charlie Parker."
Really?
That's right. And sure enough, my brother in New York City was working with Sarah Vaughan. And he mentioned us in Chicago. And sure enough, I worked with Charlie Parker. And Charlie Parker and I got on like twins. Now, at the Persian Ballroom, 64th and Cottage Grove, they had a bathroom at the back of the Persian Ball, at the back at the stage there. So I had to go to the bathroom. And it was time for the band to hit. And this is what Charlie Parker said.
What'd he say?
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I blew my line there, George.
No, he said right on time. He said, "We don't start till George gets here."
Okay, I want to know where the church is. Because there's a few questions I'd like to ask at that church.
My
I mean,
mother's church,
Yeah? Is it still in existence?
St. Paul Church of God in Christ. Reverend, they got a highway named after.
The Reverend?
Yeah, the Reverend there. And,
Is this in Chicago or no?
Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Kennedy?
Eden's? No, never mind.
George, I have a follow-up question on this. When I was a young guy going to college up at Lake Forest, probably 1961, I read Downbeat magazine. And there was an article in the Downbeat about reverse prejudice in jazz. And they claimed that Ira Sullivan, who had played with Charlie Parker, could no longer find a gig. And I ended up contacting Ira Sullivan and
Yeah.
going down and interviewing them. I think they kind of laughed at me. I think they were all stoned. I was dressed up in a suit. And but I'm just wondering if you had any encounters back then with Ira Sullivan, or if you,
I love Ira Sullivan. I thought he was a great trumpet player. In fact, he and I come up together. We didn't come up together, but we were close friends.
he still comes and plays every
He
year.
plays with Joe Siegel at the club there.
Yeah.
And no, I was told it was great. One of my mentors, really. Always crazy about him. But back to Charlie Parker again. Charlie Parker is when they started all this stuff. And I happened to be in New York City when he hit. Because when Charlie Parker hit, everybody was, before Charlie Parker, everybody was dancing. Jumping up and down,
Yes.
dancing, jitterbugging,
Yes, and
flying
then
in
what?
the air and carrying on. And so when Charlie Parker hit, everybody got cool. And they started listening to the music, started listening to what their ideas were saying, listen to the creativity. So they go to the bars. They had 52nd Street then. 52nd Street they had about 15 clubs. And you go in the club and you sit down and you listen to the music. Dizzy Gillespie brought his 18-piece band in this little bitty club about the size of this table. And he put them all on the stage, and we just sit there and listen. It wasn't no more jumping up and down.
You were there at the beginning of bebop
The
with
beginning.
Parker and Gillespie. It's amazing.
Blood
Let's,
Power.
We're gonna play a
Should we
tune.
hear a little bit of this Keenan Peachy? Yeah, let's do that so that people know.
Oh, wow. That's
Is that okay?
Charlie Parker.
With Bird.
With Bird, yeah. All right, let's hear this. A little more
Okay.
George Freeman here.
This is great.
This was kind of a memory for George. This
Sure is.
this thing was recorded at the Pershing Hotel Room.
Yeah.
Savoy Records, and the first thing he said was those riffs that you hear on the guitar. He goes, "I can't do that no more." And I'm just saying, at age 92, George, you can do things that you could not do when you could do that then.
Yeah, I
and-
sleep more.
Well, all right, we could just go there. There's the wisdom thing too. There's the sweetness.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So this event coming up, you're releasing this CD that I've got in front of me, which has been released. George the Bomb, we talked about that. But this event that we are absolutely calling people to is coming up this Friday, April 26th, 6 to 9 p.m. at Lane's Lounge at 6500 North Southport.
3,500.
What did I just say? 65. God,
And also-
Yeah, you need glasses, Katie.
I do.
I've got glasses here. And also, I wanted to mention Lynn Orman Weiss put together this wonderful honor that George will be receiving a resolution from the City of Chicago Cook County Board of Directors on Wednesday, April 24th for his contributions to jazz and living in Chicago and your
Nice
history.
going, Lynn.
George, you're the bomb. You're the bomb, George.
He's the bomb.
So
Who said that?
You are.
No, that's
George,
great, Lynn. Thank you.
When you're not performing, do you what do you do with your time? Do you practice? Do you play still? Do you sit around doing music, or do you read magazines?
I practice a lot, really, and I write tunes. I got a tune for Joanie called TikTok.
And you better give it to me and finish it, too.
TikTok.
He's writing new songs all the time at 92, like you said, Katie. He can't do what he did then. Mm-hmm. He's doing new stuff now.
Amazing.
Every note.
Isn't
is
that a shame how
important.
things change, or how time change?
Well, we're not always ready for change when it comes.
That's right.
That's why you said, isn't it a shame? But on the other hand, it's the only constant, right? Is change.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same.
Right, right.
Remember
Well-
that tune?
Yeah.
The young become the old.
What was that?
Okay.
Who said that?
Okay,
Let me ask
Sparrow
Joanie and
vocal.
Sparrow a little bit. How's things going in the record business?
You know, this record is putting us on the map. And George always says, Joanie and Sparrow, I couldn't do any of this without you. And I said, well,
That's
we
right.
couldn't be doing any of this without you, George, because you're the
called
bomb.
collaboration.
It's called collaboration.
And interdependence.
It really is.
Cooperation.
Yeah, so everything's going great, and George is climbing the charts, the radio charts. He's getting great reviews.
Kudos to Southport Records,
Oh,
to both
thank
of you,
you.
Joanie and Sparrow, for supporting musicians the way you do.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
I'm really-
unique
yeah.
and wonderful gift that you bring into the
Yeah.
music community to all of us.
Well, as our other collaborator, Ralph Lampkin, would say, it's our passion.
Yeah.
Right?
of course.
And we have Blue Jazz Records working with us also on helping us
gosh,
promote
that's
the
great.
record. So we've got a great group.
You
We've
do
got a great
indeed.
group.
We're going to
Yeah.
start playing Tonto from the album George the Bomb while we keep rambling on here.
Yeah, Tonto is.
That's Tonto right there.
Yeah, it's written for Sparrow because Sparrow used to be.
The Lone Ranger's buddy.
No.
Well, that was my nickname when I played center in high school football. I was Tonto.
you
With a
were
painted on
scary,
mu-
weren't you?
With a painted-on mustache.
Dang.
And the long hair.
Well,
love
yeah,
it.
believe that.
What
Yeah,
high
no-
school was
no,
that?
gosh.
Luther South.
All right, we're
Tonto.
listening. We're listening to Tonto here by George Freeman.
And next week, just so people know, we're going to have another jazz guy, a legendary Bobby Irving.
Oh, wow.
So all you jazz fans
Wonderful.
know that Live from the Heartland isn't just banter and political talk.
Never
we got
have
the music
been.
too.
Yeah.
Right.
Always.
Oh, this
Need
is
the
great.
music.
Katie, why don't you thank all the people who make the show possible?
Okay, well, we've got a minute to listen to Tonto, but here we go. Thank you, Jake, Michelle, Lynn, our off-mic people, without whom we could not mount this and do as good a job every week. And we want to also thank everybody who tunes in. Listen to us next week. We also ask on this Earth Day weekend and 420 that you all do good in the world, because the world needs all the good you do. All power to the people.
Right. Oh.
Crank up that time.
Break it up.